name's Chingwe, also known as Pam, and today I want to look into the newest philanthropic trend that I call #Activism. This comes in the wake of the whole Bring Our Girls Back campaign, in which the entire world, Facebook and Twitter, were set ablaze as our world came in union in order to demand the return of more than 200 schoolgirls who were kidnapped in the north of Nigeria by the Boko Haram. I just want to see if this really is the future of activism, if this really is the way forward in understanding and approaching international crises and humanitarian situations, or is it really just a chance for us to show our narcissistic desires, to project our caring and loving natures to the world? Is it just fickle and ineffective at the end of the day? This is what I want to find out. So yeah, we'll see. So I'm on the Warwick University campus today, and I'm going to be walking around catching up with some students to find out their ideas on the whole Boko Haram situation, if they know about the campaign, if they joined the campaign, what they think about it, what they think about #activism. So yeah, to see who I can find. If I say to you, Boko Haram, what do you think?
I don't know. Nothing.
Are they the Nigerian group who've got the kids?
I've got no idea.
If I say to you, Bring Our Girls Back, what do you think?
Celebrities with the signs and t-shirts and just hashtags everywhere and stuff.
Lame Twitter activism.
Well, also celebrities, famous people, run photos with a sign saying that. I think Michelle Obama was also holding one. It's to do with, I think, those girls getting kidnapped.
Do you think #activism actually really works?
I think it depends on the context. I don't think it works with Bring Back Our Girls, when it's Western people trying to raise awareness of something that's happening so far away, that they're so distant and so far removed from. I don't think that's very useful. I think in terms of the Arab Spring, it's obviously shown to be very effective. Young people especially have been using social media to get the word out, to get their messages out, to get their voices heard when they wouldn't be represented through the national media.
So do you think basically when it comes to hashtag or social media activism, it only really is useful when the people who are involved actually use it as a voice?
Because it's a way to give them a voice, whereas with say Bring Back Our Girls, it's really just the West trying to give these people a voice.
Okay.
Or speaking for, and it's not the same because it's not educating anyone really, it doesn't really make a difference. I guess the main message here is that to liberate yourself, it's really effective, but #activism, when you're trying to liberate others who are so far away from you, who you don't know, who you don't really have the information for, it's not the same. It really just becomes a trend.
I appreciate that. So basically, yes or no, are you pro #activism or are you against it?
I think I'm pro it, but only under certain circumstances.
I mean, in some ways, it is. It raised awareness. People are now talking about it, but I don't think that Twitter activism itself is actually achieving anything. And I think it's just makes people feel good about themselves. So they're yeah, look at us, we're tweeting about this bad thing. We're helping. It's you're not actually achieving anything.
I think the people cared as much as they were tweeting, but I don't think they didn't realise how tweeting doesn't actually do a whole lot.
Yeah.
To bring those 200 girls back.
I wouldn't negate the importance of some people tweeting about these things, because these things do raise awareness, and that's all well and good if it achieves anything. But it's when it's done for selfish reasons or for narcissistic reasons that it's an issue. So the people who actually, people who write blogs and people who, they don't just tweet about the thing that's trending, they tweet about things they care about. I tweet and Facebook post a lot of things about articles I've read and stuff, but I spend time researching these things and I don't.
Well, one of my major problems with the whole #activism, #Bring Our Girls Back situation is that actually the hashtag itself, it seems to really trivialise the intensity and the severity of the situation. When you put a hashtag in front of something, it kind of puts on the same par as our newest, social media trends #Belfie, #selfie, #first world problems. I think the hashtag really skews the distinction between a really serious humanitarian situation, a crisis where lives are at stake, and something that we're really obsessed with for the moment and then we'll get over in the next few days. And so with the whole mixing of serious situations with the newest, latest hashtagging trend, what happens is that a lot of times, sadly, these things can become materials for jokes. For example, we had the crazy furore about Jay-Z being beaten up by Solange the other day. So what happens? The next day, there's a picture of Jay-Z holding a sign saying hashtag bring our girls back and take back Solange. That's meant to be a joke, but for some reason, I really don't see the joke of girls, more than 200 girls being kidnapped and a celebrity drama. It's not funny. I really do doubt that the families of the children, the mums and the brothers and the sisters and the cousins, grandparents, were sitting there laughing at a joke like, let's all lighten up right now. We do need something to take the strain off our backs. It's not okay. I'm not criticising popular activism or a lot of people becoming involved in a situation that they might not be that well versed in. After all, the apartheid was really highlighted by populist opposition to the horrific system in South Africa. Popular activism is not necessarily bad, but hashtagging is when it, to me, undermines it all.
No, I don't really use Twitter that much.
I don't know enough about it myself to give a proper opinion. That's why I haven't done anything on social media about it. It's something that I'm happy to read about and research and talk through with people, but I'm not going to put my own opinions out there on it because I just don't know anything about it.
I did actually send one tweet with the hashtag Bring Our Girls Back campaign. I've been following the story, but I was sort of quite reluctant to do a lot of the online activism.
I think that the nature of Twitter and social media is that everything's sort of ready-made for you, so you have the trending hashtags, you have everything ready, so it's very easy to jump on board and just put a hashtag without actually knowing the significance behind it. So in that sense, I guess they can be perpetuated in ignorance.
Kind of moved on. I think people kind of, if a new hashtag came up, I think people start talking about that instead.
The result of the Twitter campaign, you could say, is it's raising awareness of it and it's putting pressure on the government and other non-government organisations to act and to do something, and that's great. But apart from that, there's no sort of substance behind it. So there's no sort of action.
It's the biggest platform to be able to raise awareness because everyone does look at it.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those fads where it's popular while it's trending on Twitter, and then after that it's kind of over. And while everyone was talking about it, people were uploading the pictures, similar to the other campaigns like that. Like the Coney one was really a big thing. In my sixth form, people were hanging posters up and stuff, and the Coney situation had been going on for ages, and it still continues, and nothing was done about it. It was just people trying to make themselves look good.
Does it matter? I kind of support the view that if help is there, or if kind of certain means reach a certain end, does it actually matter what the motives were behind it? Because if you're raising awareness about something, even if you personally don't know much about it, that might spur on someone else to put in some research, and that could lead to a really important event happening.
Yeah, I think people are very quick to jump on board, when they haven't done any reading. People seem to just become keyboard warriors, without really knowing the facts. So I think that is a danger.
It's part of the whole, with the nature of social media, everybody has, you're out there on a public forum all the time and you want to make yourself look good. And I think that people, they want that when someone looks at their page that they see, oh look, they care about these things and these political things. But a lot of people is a very shallow, a shallow sentiment. And if you actually spoke to them about it and sort of delved a little deeper, you'd find out that actually they don't really know any of these things in depth. No one really takes the time to research these things. And in terms of stuff like in hashtag campaigns, donating money and actually doing good, nothing's done. You've just hashtagged, and that literally doesn't achieve anything. It just makes you look like a good person. So I think that it's quite, I don't know, maybe selfish. You're trying to better yourself, but you're not actually doing anything for the people you're talking about. The hypocrisy of the Michelle Obama one, I found it quite annoying because of she's the wife of the president, who obviously does so much harm in some countries, his policies, and stuff like the fact that she doesn't seem to care about the Afghan children dying and things like that, whereas it was sort of jumping on the bandwagon in a look what a good person I am sort of way.
I think there's a good and a bad side to it, because I think on the one hand, obviously you should be informed about what you're campaigning for, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you are raising the profile, even if you are just sending a tweet and that's all you think about the whole kind of debacle. If that's just it, at least you're raising the profile.
I think it's a good platform to like raise awareness. I think so. Yeah, I think it could be definitely exploited like more. Yeah.
So hashtag activism, has it really worked, or does it really work? Michelle Obama was demanding the return of the girls with a solemn face behind an ACT billboard. We got disregarding the fact that her husband himself is supporting drone campaigns which kill thousands of people in the Middle East. Justin Timberlake and a variety of celebrity males were claiming that real men do not steal children, and David Cameron even joined the campaign. As has been seen, awareness has been raised. Not necessarily an in-depth awareness, because a lot of people still don't really know much about the Boko Haram, but they do know a lot about the hashtag Bring Our Girls Back campaign. Western media reached fever pitch. Our Twitters and Facebook were ablaze with statuses demanding, and tweets actually demanding, that we bring the girls back. But weeks on, more than 219 girls or thereabouts remain missing. The Nigerian security situation is still a mess, and the parents and families of the girls are still in anguish about the situation. However, as usual, we've moved on. The hashtag Bring Our Girls Back campaign is old news, like Coney and like no makeup selfies. What is the next thing that's going to come about? For all of its flaws, hashtag campaigning is not bad. It does raise awareness, which is very important. The depth and the longevity of this awareness is debatable. However, I guess it's a necessary evil for us to at least know something, although I do think we should really know more about what we're talking about. If we're going to hashtag a cause, if we're going to join a campaign, we should really at least know what we are campaigning for.